Corner School of Broadcasting canceled? This is the second time they canceled. I can't believe it. University of Bologna rescheduled for next year. Bologna? What's going on here? What is this? Call your tailor. You call it Gamarelli. Tell him to lay off me. One lousy suit on before I pay him when I get it. You know what I mean? Tell him to leave me alone. All the clothes I get from him, not to him. Oral Roberts canceled. What is this? Can't believe it. This is the mail? What's going on here? Can't believe it. Susie Palmer, Santa Barbara, California. Better save this. Send me some cookies or something. Tape.
Dear Father Sarducci, on behalf of the Lecture Committee at the University of California at Santa Barbara, I would like to extend an invitation to you to address the student body on a date of your choosing. I'm enclosing a videotape of my school for your viewing. Looking forward to hearing from you soon. Susie Palmer, Events Coordinator. P.S. Please.
Well, maybe. I think I could manage it. I think I could manage this one. Play it to me. Could be good.
UC Santa Barbara is one of 9 campuses of the University of
It's
California.
the ocean. It's out of the
It's widely
ocean.
regarded
Look,
as the greatest
what?
public
This is a
university
college?
in the world.
Sister, telefono per piacere 805 555 7212.
UC Santa Barbara is large enough to
Subito.
offer academic programs in more than 80 fields of study and small enough to limit class size to have a special concern for good teaching. There are 3 colleges on campus. The largest is the College of Letters and Science.
Hi, this is Susie. I'm not home. Leave a message and have a nice day.
Susie, this is Father Guido Sarducci calling. I got your wonderful letter. So nice sending that. And I got your tape to see your campus. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. But, Don, you know, I'm so busy. Got so many things to schedule and that. But I'm going to try, me and my group, we're going to try our best, see what we could do to come to your place. We'll see what we could do. Yes, excuse me, please. Could you tell me, please, where is Santa Barbara University? College, Santa Barbara College, maybe it's Santa Barbara's College, Santa Barbara University. I think maybe it's this way. Let's go this way. I think pretty sure maybe that way. Hey, we got it. Hurry up, come on, let's go, hurry up. $8 you want to take us to the university. We could rent a car for that. Let's rent a car.
Yeah,
Let's rent a car. You won't believe what they want to rent a car in this country. $8.95 a day.
Wow.
They give you 25 free miles, right? But you have to pay for your own gasoline. Nuts to them. That's what I said. There's got to be a cheaper way to get out of this college. You know, no problem. We'll find a cheaper way. No problem. That's right. It's more than wonderful for me to be here, Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara has always been one of my favorite saints. She's so pretty, you know. She's the prettiest saint. Everybody agrees with that. She's the prettiest saint of all the saints. And I don't know if you know this or not, but you know, she's the patron saint of manicurists. If you know, you have like hanging nails, split nails, cuticle problems, pray to Saint Barbara. She's your man. While I think of it, they asked me to make this announcement. Somebody left their light on. It's a Schwinn 10-speed. I don't know what the license plate number is, but, you know, the light's on. I want to thank Father Billy and the Beatles for their wonderful intro. That's my new theme song. That's my new theme song. You know what it's called? Wipeout, that's right. And I love it, you know, especially in California, it's a perfect tune, you know what I mean? This is the first time I ever used it. I used to have another theme song I use all the time called Zippity-Doo-Dah. And I love that song, but this company, I named them by name, Walt Disney Company, this Mickey Mouse company from out here, California, someplace. They say they own this song now, Zippity-Doo-Dah. And they send me letters from their lawyer, right? And they says, cease and desist. Don't use Zippity-Doo-Dah no more. And the reason, you know what the reason is? They says, I'm not their image. Goofy is their image. Dumbo, you know, Dumbo, that's another one of their image. Donald Duck and his 3 illegitimate nephews. That's their image. Where's their mother? That's what I want to know. I mean, I think they're his kids. You know, him and Minnie or something like that. He doesn't have no brothers and nephews. Come on, you know what I mean? They got these illegitimates and they're picking on me. Anyway, I use Wipeout. I don't care. I say I don't. I really do, because I love Zippity-Doo-Dah. Such a great song, and it's got so much tradition, Zippity-Doo-Dah. Originally, you know, it's so old. Originally, what it is, it's the national anthem of the country of Doo-Dah. So many American people don't even know where Doo-Dah is. You know where it is? It's Europe. It's in Europe. That's where it is. It's way up in the mountains, like 300 yards up there. You got to take a donkey. It's the only way to get up there. And it's named after Saint Doo-Dah. And this fellow, Saint Doo-Dah, he became a saint because he lived in a tree trunk for 50 years. That's what you got to do sometime, you know, to become a saint. I'm not, you know, I'm passing on that, you know. Maybe if I could take, you know, like Tina Turner, some, you know, like that, in the tree trunk with me. But what happened to him, he was 20 years old, and he was, you know, just laying around on the couch, you know, drinking beer all the time. And his mother says to him, she says, get a job. She says, what are you going to do with your life? And he said, I don't know. And that's his famous quote. In fact, in downtown Doo-Dah, in the main piazza, they got this statue. You know, it's like a marble tree trunk. Got this little head sticking up. Underneath says, I don't know. Saint Doo-Dah. Anyway, he was 20 years old, right? And he says, Mom, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the woods to meditate, think about what I want to do with my life. He went to the woods, sat in a tree trunk, stayed there for 50 years. And you think, well, you know, why sainted? What's the miracle? The miracle is, you think the man was starved to death. But what happened was, animals would feed him. Birds birds were dropping breadcrumbs and little pieces of veal. Squirrels would bring him artichokes. You know, they go, hey, Duda, carciofalo, prego, Duda. He would eat a little piece, you know, every once in a while he just, you know, a little like that, you know, because he didn't need much food because he didn't exercise, nothing like that. Anyway, 50 years, right, to the date, he left his home. All the people from the city of Duda, they came out there with the candles, like this Virgil they was having it for him. I know what I said. City of Duda, country of Duda. See, the country of Duda has 3 cities, and the main city also is called Duda. It's like New York, New York. Duda is the whole name. I don't know what the zip code is, but you write Duda, you know, you'll get it. Anyway, 50 years to the date, all these people with the candles, right? The man stands straight up, puts back his shoulders, and for the very first time, belts out the song, Zippity Duda. And the people were so moved, they become what's known as the Duda people. And these people are so laid back, they don't walk, they don't run, they skip. Everywhere they go. In fact, in downtown Duda, you know, they have on the crosswalk, it says, skip, don't skip. I know a lot about it because I went to summer school there one summer. Duda U is the name of the school. Was it easy? It was so you could imagine, you know. I got an A, didn't even buy a book. I know I went to this one class. I remember this professor asked me some question, you know. I don't remember what the question was, but I remember my answer. I said, I'm very sorry. I have no idea what the answer is. He says to me, I see your point. I buy that. Pretty soon everybody starts cheating off me. Well, I love the song. I wish I could use it, but Wipeout is, you know, fine anyway in my booklet. It's a good one. I like most songs, you know, all different kinds of music in that. Just a couple songs that I hate. One song I hate, I used to love it. It's called 100 Barrels of Beer on the Wall. You know this song? Everybody knows it in America. I didn't know it. I heard it the first time like 3 years ago. You know, I thought, this is a really clever tune. You know, this is great. I started all the time, you know, trying to get it going at parties and that. This one guy once, he pulls me over, you know, it's 2 corners, says, come here, I want to talk to you. I go over there, he says, you know, it's not too cool to sing 100 bottles of beer on the wall all the time. He says to me, that's a song made for buses. Excuse me, please, you know, hey. But I found out, you know, it's only for chartered buses. I tried singing it on a city bus. Another song I hate. Happy Birthday to You. I always thought, who is the brilliant person wrote the lyrics for Happy Birthday to You? You know what I mean? Kind of redundant. Maybe the same person wrote 100 bottles of beer on the wall, you know? And Happy Birthday to You, you think that it's a short song until it's your birthday. Then it seems to last forever, you know? And you don't know where to look. You know what I mean? You just sit there, bring you the cake, you know, everybody's singing, you just sit there, you know, like, thanks. Another thing I hate about the birthdays is the cake and all of the candles. You know, when they bring in the cake. And I think the only people like candles on the cake is the little kids. And they hardly get any. Like it's not fair, you know, a little kid, 4 years old, 4 lousy candles. Father says, can you do it, Tom? He says, I think I could handle it, Dad, no problem. I went to this birthday party recently in Italy. Man's name is Cardinal Dario Fungi, 111 years old. He's the oldest living man in Europe. On his own. There are a couple, I guess, guys older who are like on machines and that, but he's the oldest man going on his own. 111. They bring out this cake, right? 111 candles. I says, this is great. This is going to kill a man. I got to see this, this is it. But he did it. He did it. Blew them all out. And I think the reason was he was so excited. It was like a surprise birthday party. We flew his mother in from Naples. Little short woman. She looked like E.T. You remember when they dress up E.T. in the dress and that? If they put a black dress on E.T., you would have Mrs. Fungi in person. And what was so amazing to me, she looked more like his sister than his mother. And I think they said she's 130 years old. And the difference between somebody like 11 years old and somebody 30 years old, pretty great. But between 111 and 130, could hardly tell. It's like there's hope for all of us, to know that once we're past 100 years old, we're not going to age too much. The two of them, they look like beef jerky. I got this idea about insurance. You know how it works, life insurance? Maybe you've been approached, I don't know. If not, you will be eventually, probably very, very soon. As soon as you get jobs, And insurance men have a way of finding out when somebody gets a job that they're over there knocking on your door, But how it works is they charge you by how old you are and how much longer you have to go. It's all based on statistics. And right now, Western world, man, on the average, people are, dropping off the boat all along the route. But when you average it all out, a man in the Western world lives to be 74.2. Woman, 78. And I don't know why, maybe it's because of high heels or something. I don't know why that is exactly. Anyway, I got an idea. Like a little girl, 1 year old, instead of having a birthday cake with one lousy candle on it, what you do, you have a birthday cake with 77 candles on it. You see, because this is how many more she has to go. Then, every year, you have one less. See, what this does, it gives all of us a goal to try to clean the cake. And then, once you've cleaned the cake, this means like you've beat the insurance companies. It's like you won. That's right. Then you get a free cake. I should give a free cake to the clean cake people. Free rides on buses, everything is free. Is Reagan a clean cake person? I know he's your neighbor, lives right up the road, right? I don't know. I think he's almost. But he looks real good, He looks pretty good. Only thing is his neck. His neck looks like it's in his 90s. Looks like, it's 15 to 20 years older than the rest of him. I never understood this, and what I figured is maybe it was born first. I could see his father at the hospital, He goes in and says, Doc, a boy or girl? Doctor says, I don't know how to tell you this exactly, Mr. Reagan, but it's a neck. your wife just gave birth to a 7-pound, 2-ounce neck. But the neck must have had buds on it, you know, because he did pop out of it eventually. What, the first little boy, that's what he became first of all, little boy, then a radio announcer, then a movie star, then the governor of California, then the president of the United States. Who knows what next? You know, kind of scary, I think. Maybe Pope. You know, Pope Gipper is what they would call him. Gipper one, you know. I seen him on TV recently. Was at the White House. Was getting off a helicopter. He came from Camp David. He got off of the helicopter. His neck was flapping in the wind. Every once in a while, you could see his tie. You know what I mean? Say, there it is. Oh, there it is again. There it is. There it is again. The man must have to do a headstand to tie his tie in the morning. Well, he didn't give no speech when he got off of the helicopter. I wish he did. I love his speeches, you know. His favorite speech of mine of all time was a while back. It was before the Joint Houses of Congress. And what it was about was the Central American threat. It was so heavy, you know. He made it sound like Central America was going to attack you tomorrow, you know. And the best part of the speech was he looked straight into the camera, you know, as only he can, you know. So dramatic, you know. He looked straight into the camera. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, Central America is closer to Texas than Texas is to the state of Maine." I'm shaking in my boots. What is this? You know, it's like, it's like, should we trust them with this? Let's get out the globe and check it ourselves, you know. And you get out the globe, you know, you go Central America, Texas, Maine. God damn, he's right, you know. It is a close to look, you know. God damn, what do you know? Whole idea of his speech was, your neighbors are just too darn close to you. Too bad, you know. Anyway, what I was thinking was, if I was Ronald Reagan, I wouldn't be so afraid of Central America. I would be afraid of Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, I check it out myself. Canada is closer to the United States than Santa Barbara is to Reagan's ranch. That's right. Don't trust me, you know, check it out yourself. You'll see Canada, this country, you know, goes on for 3,000 miles. It's just this country looming over you, rubbing against you, could come down and attack any time. I know what everybody says. Everybody says the same thing. Canada's your friend. You've been friends for 200 years. What I say to you is, don't push your luck. Who knew 10 years ago there would be trouble in Central America? You know, 10 years from now, could be Canada. And if I was Reagan, I'd nuke them. Don't take no chances. You know, they're too close, just too darn close. One nuclear bomb downtown Toronto, you know. No problem, no more. Make Canada safe for the United States, you know. I read this fact once. Maybe you heard of this. It says you could take all the Chinese people, line them up before abreast, march them into the sea, and they would never stop. Have you heard of this? They would never stop. I think what it means is, you know, there's so many of them I guess they would be multiplying in line. Maybe, they're going to go into the sea. They would have bathing suits on. It's kind of erotic in that, Never stop. Anyway, Canada, on the other hand, Canada has an entire population, 180,000 people. Don't quote me on this exactly, but 180, 190, I know it's not more than 200,000 people. Anyway, you could line up with the Canadian people, march them into Lake Erie. Would take like an afternoon. You could have lunch, march them into the lake, and be home for dinner. I say, what's holding things up? Let's start. Only thing, you got to do it in the summertime. Because in the winter, Lake Erie can freeze over. And they could run across and infiltrate on you. Snowbacks is what you call them. Well, you've been terrific, to invite me to your college, and I've been here a couple of days. I've been having a wonderful time. It's been great. I got it. How it all happened was I got this letter from this girl on one of your committees or something. She says, "Come to Santa Barbara, UC, what do you call it?" And she sent me this tape. Like a film tape over the campus, showed the ocean and the trees. It looked so beautiful. Anyway, what I thought, since you sent me the film of your school and that, what I thought was maybe I should make you a film to show you where I come from. And that's what I did. And I'm going to show this to you now. I got to take this away, pull it down to the screen. Hey, Joe, can you please? Lord, he's been up there all this time, poor guy. Lower it down. All right, thanks a lot, Pepino. Okay, that's it, all right. Maybe we have to lower the lights a little bit so you could see it. Okay, Sal, you could roll it whenever you're ready. Hello, everybody, from the Vatican City. I'm your tour guide, Father Guido Sarducci, and I'm going to show you around my place. Vatican City is a sovereign state, but size-wise, it's more like a college campus than an independent country. It's 1/3 the size of a Disneyland, and only 1/8 the size of your New York Central Park. But we have beautiful gardens, we have 3 banks, we have our own mint, we have a seminary, we have a wonderful museum. This is our band. Like you have a band, we got a band too. This is from a few years ago, our ecumenical council, kind of like our homecoming. Everybody came out of the woodwork for this one. A lot of these guys haven't seen each other years and years. They was reminiscing, having a wonderful time. Here they're lined up going into some party, and it was a great party. It was eating the cookies and, rubbing elbows. The top guys were there. It was a great, wild, wild time. We had a wonderful time. Some guys couldn't get in, and they was mad. You could hear a pin drop in that room. This is where the Pope lives. Not on top. That's the president of the Vatican Bank, but that's the Pope's place. Doesn't look like much from the outside, but inside it's a beautiful high ceilings. He's got a fountain there, a working fireplace. You could see it. This is a memento he brought back, I think, on one of his trips. There's a lot of those around. I guess there's some tour was going through. They make you take off your shoes. That's his pool, heart shape. He loves to swim in the shape of a heart. This is, you have like this campus security, our campus security, Swiss Guard. Swiss Guard known for their 500-year-old out-of-date uniforms and their total lack of personality, including a sense of humor. Oh, this is from our seminary, Gregorian Seminary. That's where I went on the Vatican campus. And people are the cream of the crop. It comes from all over the world to Gregorian Seminary. They're lined up here to do their laundry. There's only 6 washing machines. We ought to get more. First thing you come to seminary and they make you get a haircut. Italian barbers are supposed to be great, but not at Gregorian. They're butchers. They probably shave off his eyebrows even. I talked to some American seminarians who were there, asked them after the first year what it was like, and here's what they had to say.
I enjoyed it. Sometimes, a lot of times I hated it, but it was really good.
I like the DIs. I hate to say that, but they're all right. I like it. It taught me a lot.
If I had it to do over again, I'd do it.
This is a factory underneath the Vatican where we make the bingo cards. 50 cards every sheet. And it's going 24 hours a day. We cannot keep up with demand. Bingo, bingo, bingo. It just keeps up all the time. It's great. This is me outside my office of L'Osservatore Romano. That's my secretary over there. Take a letter, Maria. These are a couple of my colleagues who help me on my gossip column. They sneak in a lot of places. They got their own lenses and everything. This is Radio Vatican, which we broadcast in over 20 languages. Also, we have a station called Radio Free Vatican. It's a boat docked 2 miles off the coast of Albania. See, we got a big loudspeaker on top. We broadcast to these guys, listening on the shore. This is our station manager, Father Puzzola. He's going in for supplies. Hope they don't start throwing stuff at him again. There are museums every which way at the Vatican. You've probably heard of like Pietà. We have so many famous works of art. But my favorite museum is coming up. This is it. Call it the Connie Museum. We have so many nice statues of Connie. That's Connie Francis, Connie Stevens. I think Connie Chung is the next. No, I forget her name. Connie, what's her name? Michelangelo did a lot of nice sculpture, but he never put wigs or dresses on them, like these, and so much better. These are worth millions of dollars. They're real valuable. The total wealth of the Catholic Church, only God and the top Vatican financial advisor knows for sure, is what they say. God's not talking, and the top Vatican financial advisor is presently in jail, and he's unable to return my phone calls. But if I may quote the great Carl Sagan, who said there are billions and billions of stars, all I could say is it's worth billions and billions of dollars. Churches, we own over 300,000 parishes. We own hospitals, orphanages, schools. We have 8,000 universities, thousands and thousands of high schools, elementary schools. Think of all these schools, all like the basketballs they have. If every school has like 15 basketballs or soccer balls, in South America they have soccer balls, you could figure it out, It's so many. That's what I did. I figured it out. Ladies and gentlemen, if you took every basketball and a soccer ball the Catholic Church owned, line them up in a row, they would form a basketball, soccer ball highway that went all the way around the globe, went into the universe, past the moon, come back again, and still, there would be enough left over for every man over the age of 18 in the city the size of Bologna to have one basketball and one soccer ball each. I figured this up myself. It's time to say goodbye from the Vatican City. We say goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It was a lot of fun. Goodbye, Santa Barbara. Okay, goodbye, screen. Hey, maybe put this on. Let me see. Oh, this over here. I want to hip you to this. You've probably seen, I talked about L'Osservatore Romano, my newspaper. My newspaper is mostly circulation within Vatican City. There's 1,000 people live in Vatican City. Circulation, as you might imagine, is not great. We wanted to branch out a little bit. What we did, we started a new magazine. It's coming out next month. Please watch for it. It's called Vatican Inquirer. Coming out next month. Be sure to look for it. It's great. The top story is very, very interesting. It's called Changing Your Socks Can Harm Your Health. There's another great article here. It's entitled, How to Build an Emergency Umbrella. And it shows you how to build an emergency umbrella using just a stick, a hula hoop, and a plastic garbage bag. It's like, you're stuck in a rainstorm, you forgot your umbrella at home, but you do have a stick, hula hoop, and a plastic garbage bag with you. This is the article for you. It's a great article, and it pictures an article entitled Mussolini and Bride Living in Denver. There's another great article entitled The Missing Commandments. You probably thought there was only like 10 commandments, but there's so many more. I don't know how much you know the Bible, but what happened with the Bible was Moses was the man who got the commandments. He went to the mountaintop. God gave him these 2 tablets with all the commandments on them. He brought the tablets down to his hometown. He found the people there was like worshiping a cow or something like that. He was so mad, he threw down the tablets, he broke them. Then later on, he tried to remember what they were. And Moses, he was like old man. He was like 90 years old. He was grumpy. He had a chip on his shoulder from this cow incident. All he could remember was like the negative ones. Don't do this, don't do that, thou shalt not this, thou shalt not that. But a lot of the commandments were more like advice in that, And for instance, the 11th commandment, wait half hour after eating before you go swimming. You probably thought this was just something your mother told you or something, It was God. Another one, 12th, whistle while you work. You probably thought this was from Disney, stole it from God. Another, 13th commandment. This is a great one. 13th commandment says, when you use Q-tips, just go around the outside of the ear. Don't go poking in the canal. Don't poke like that. You see, this was especially important in biblical times. Because in olden times, they didn't have nice Q-tips like we do today. What they used to do, they used to use like a quartz, rock. And they would put a sponge on the end, and they go poking, they get the sponge into the ear. Then they go swimming, and the sponge, just, they can't hear nothing, Another one, don't look at your neighbor's wife through a telescope. That's one of them I have been breaking myself. I must admit it, but no more. Might use binoculars, but it doesn't say nothing about binoculars. That's the weasel there. You could always weasel around these. If you know what you're doing. There's another great article in here. It's going to be every month. It's about dream analysis. Do you know about dream analysis? It's like what you dream, it like represents other things, is what it is. And there's this column. It's by a fellow named Father Dr. Bob. And this fellow, Father Dr. Bob, he's a Jesuit psychiatrist. He's a priest and a psychiatrist both. And he analyzes dreams. The first issue is got a dream. It's written a letter from this monk in Perugia, Italy. And he writes that he's always dreaming that he's a banana. He dreamed he's a banana, and he's chasing this donut down the street. You read what Father Dr. Bob has to say, It's got nothing to do with the bananas or donuts. It's pretty interesting, let me tell you. I had this one dream myself. I don't think I'm going to write to Father Dr. Bob about it, but I've had this dream for 3 nights in a row, and that means it's true. I don't know if you know that. 3 nights in a row. And what it is, I dream I'm in heaven. I don't dream that I died, but I must have skipped that part. But I dream I'm in heaven. First thing, I get to heaven, they give me this box. And inside the box, there's like 3 umbrellas, a couple of wallets, some loose change, some keys, a couple of gloves. I says, what's this? You know, the guy says to me, well, now that you've lost your life, you get to have back everything you lost during life. But then I says to this guy, well, you know, I'm ready. I thought, you know, I'm going to be judged. And this guy just smiles at me, doesn't say nothing, but right away, just from the smile, I knew what he meant. And what he meant was, who do you think you are? You're going to be judged. You're going to see God. And I knew what he meant, you know, because if you wanted to see, like, the mayor of Santa Barbara, I don't know what would happen. You go to his office. I don't know, they say, you know, Jim's here, come on in. Probably they would say, come back Tuesday, you know, or 3 weeks down the line or something like that. If you wanted to see, like, President Reagan, you go to the White House, probably they would arrest you, you know what I mean? But Reagan, compared to God, Reagan's like some flea on the back of an ant compared to God, you know? You know, the president of one country on some third-rate planet in a second-rate galaxy someplace. God has got the whole world in his hands, like the song says. You know, everything. Anyway, this guy says to me, he says, you do get to see God, but you have to wait 8 years. 8 years. And then he says, and you're in a group. 15,000 people in my group. 50, it's like going to see Bruce Springsteen or something, you know what I mean? And he says, and your appointment is for 8 in the morning. I remember thinking, boy, I hope I don't oversleep for that one. You know, better set 2 alarm clocks, you know. But the great thing is, you get to stay in heaven till your appointment comes up. And heaven was so beautiful. Everything was big. That's what impressed me so much. Everything was giant. Like they had trees, make redwood trees look like toothpicks. You could not see the tops, you know? I walked down this path. They had vineyards. They had grapes the size of oranges. They had oranges the size of watermelons. They had watermelons like Volkswagens. Big, everything is so big. And then I look down this path, this beautiful girl is walking towards me. She was so pretty, and she had this long hair, went down to the ground, then up again into the air. Guess you had to be there, you know, to really know what was great. She says to me, my name is Rhonda, and I'm here to help you. I remember I said, Rhonda, I'm your man, you know, help me, Rhonda, please, you know. Right away, first thing she says to me, she says, are you hungry? And I was hungry. First thing I got there, they gave me this bagel. It looked like a bagel by Firestone. You know what I mean? It was giant bagel. I took 2 bites. Was it dry? You know, they didn't give me no jelly, no butter, nothing like that. I wasn't real hungry. And I says, yes, I am hungry. She says, come with me. We'll go to this restaurant. Restaurant? I would not call it a restaurant. You could have seen this. It was like rolling clouds covered with grass. As far as you could see, you know, it was like grass-covered clouds. And these tables underneath these giant trees. Waiters were there, dressed in tuxedos, sitting on top of zebras. You could hardly tell where the waiter stopped and zebra began. You know, it was like a zebra man, something like that. We sat down at this table. This waiter trotted over to us. He comes over and says, "And what would you like to have this morning?" I says, "Well, I think I have some orange juice. I have an egg. I didn't want to order 2 eggs. You know, 1 egg, probably, you know, you could drown in the yolk or something, you know. 1 egg." I says, "Bacon. Usually I don't eat bacon, you know, because of the nitrates, but I figure I'm dead. Might as well live it up, you know." And I says, "And I have a cappuccino." Anyway, this guy looks at his watch. He says, "Oh, I'm sorry to tell you this, pal, but after 11. I says, "What?" He says, "Yes, no breakfast in heaven after 11. And right away, you know, I thought of that prayer. You know, it says, "It is on earth as it is in heaven." There's no breakfast here after 11. There's no breakfast there after 11. It's like no justice here, no justice there. What are you going to do? Well, what I was going to do for you now is a little song called "No Breakfast in Heaven After 11. But remember what I do first. Maybe I'll take some questions. You know, maybe some people want to ask some questions and that, and somebody wants some advice and counsel. I'm your man. Yes, sir.
Okay, no disrespect intended, but are you a virgin?
I don't know what you mean by no disrespect. I don't know if it, I don't know in your mind if it would be more disrespect if it was or wasn't. But let me just say, you know, priests are celibate. And I am celibate as well. Not on weekends, of course, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. No, it wasn't. It's a joke. I am a celibate. And you should be too, I think. Yes, sir.
Father, can you help me? I'm seriously confused. As a child, they told me, save yourself until you're married, and I just recently found out that the Pope says that even when you're married, you can't have sex unless you want a child.
Right. That's
why?
right.
Why is that?
Well, because sex is only for procreation, is the rule. And what I think is, you know, if sex is only for procreation, it only seems right to me that eating should only be for nutrition. You know, so the next time the Pope sits down, you know, and orders lasagna, veal milanese, some wine, they should say, have a donut and a vitamin pill. You know, that'll take care of it. Yes, sir.
Father Guido, I'd like to know just what is wrong with masturbation.
You know, masturbation is a sin, but it's not a big sin. It's not a big sin. You know, we have this thing like a Fatima letter that said, what it said was, life is a job. And each of us are getting paid $14.50 a day to be here. And what happens when you die is you go before God and He gives you all the money you earned over the, $14.50 a day times every day you earn. You have all this money in front of you. Then you have to pay for your sins. And it's like still in hubcaps, maybe like $100. Masturbation, 35 cents. 35 cents. Or 3 for $1. 3 for $1.
Thank you, Father.
But, to get the discount, you got to do it 3 times in a row. That's the rub.
Well, thank you, Father. I'll sleep much better tonight.
Okay, lots of luck, Annie. Yes, miss.
Well, Father, I know you're celibate and everything, and I don't know how much television you watch or how many magazines you read, but I was curious as to what you thought of the singer Madonna and the model Christy Brinkley and who you like better.
if I had my choice, you know what I mean? Like, you know, Christie, Brinkley, and Madonna. I'm a Madonna man, I think, personally. Yes, sir. You have to be the last one. How you doing?
Fine, how are you?
Fine.
I wanted to know, I'm taking a class in theology right now, and how do you reconcile faith and reason?
How do I reconcile faith and reason? Well, not everything is reasonable. That's how I reckon with it. Hey, thank you. Thanks a lot. Hey, you know, I said it before, you know, I was going to sing a song, you know, no breakfast in heaven after 11. And I think I'm going to bring Father Billy and the Beatles back out here, you know, to do a song. Come on out, you guys. I don't know where these guys have been all this time. These guys are great. They play for all the Vatican parties. They go to seminaries and convents all around. They play for like the Swiss Guard New Year's party. They're the tops. You know, what's it going to do? No breakfast in heaven after 11. I think we'll do the other song. I think it's better, you know. And I'm going to take my cape and turn it inside, give it a little more color. You know, we're all black and white. Thanks, guys. This song is really more of a prayer than it is a song. And God, wherever you are, I hope that you're listening. Heaven, please send all mankind understanding and peace of mind. But if it's not asking too much, please send me someone to love. Please send him someone to love. So they will to get along. Peace will enter when hate is gone. But if it's not asking too much, please, please send me someone to love. Please send me someone to love. I look around and see the world, all its problems, and my answer is always the same. Unless man puts an end to this damnable sin, hate will put the world in a flame. What a shame. Just because I'm in misery, I don't beg for no sympathy. But if it's not asking too much, please send me someone to love. Please send him someone to love. If it's not asking too much, please send me someone to love. Please, please, please. Oh, God, please, please, please. You know, I don't care if she's short, I don't care if she's tall, if she's skinny, if she's wide. I don't care what she looks like. It's not like I'm asking for like the Doublemint twins, something like that. It's not like I want the homecoming queen. I'm not even asking for any of the attendants. I don't care what she looks like. I don't care what's her astrological sign. I don't care what's her blood type. I don't care, you know, if she paint her toenails, anything like that. I don't care what she looks like. Please, God, please send me anyone to love. Please, please, please. Please, God, please. Wonderful. Spending some moments here with you. Santa Barbara, feeling terrific. Ci vediamo dopo. Grazie tanto.